SBC Media Partners presents Shikellamy Braves Football with Kevin Herr and the Chief Dave Ritchie. Shikellamy Braves Football on WKOK Sports.
Tonight. And we welcome those of you watching on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel this evening. Welcome to the Silver Bowl here in Mount Carmel, where the Red Tornadoes have made their appearance with fireworks and everything. The Red Tornadoes of Mount Carmel coming in at 8-0 with their all-red uniforms, white numerals, and striping, and letters as well. Red helmets. The Braves have not made their appearance. Well, actually, they are in the end zone now. They're going to go all white tonight, with the navy blue numerals and the navy blue helmet as well. Chief, what are the keys to a victory tonight?
Well, I think one of the things the Braves have to hold on to the football offensively and get some sustained drives and shorten the game. The other thing that they're going to have to do is continue to play like they have on defense and hopefully maybe get a couple of turnovers. But again, it all revolves down to the fact that it's the two lines that have to play the best they've played all year long tonight.
Shikellamy made their appearance now. Again, the maroon numerals with the blue, navy blue trim. I might have had that backwards. The stripe down the side. We'll wait for the opening coin toss, and we'll be back for the kickoff in just a moment. Stick around on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel. This is Shikellamy Football on WKOK and the WKOK Sports YouTube channel. And we'll await the opening kickoff here as well as the coin toss here in just a moment. Both teams have made their captains come out on the field, and it looks as if Shikellamy won the toss, and Shikellamy has elected to receive. They will be moving left to right as we view things here from the visiting sidelines tonight at the Silver Bowl here in Mount Carmel. Kevin Herr along with the Chief, Dave Ritchie. Chief, this is going to be a very, very tough test for the Braves tonight, and they're going to have to play almost perfect football.
Exactly, Kevin. But they've done, again, I've seen them play against bigger teams before, and they've held their own. So, and I just saw that the original quarterback was the sophomore Matt Belichick. He's still got his arm in a sling, and it happens to be his throwing arm too. So
yeah, that's not a good sign.
No, he's not going to be able to play, and that is not a good sign. You're right.
Yeah, that would be something that would be a definite unlikely situation. But again, we unfortunately did not get a chance to talk with Coach Dara this week. We did reach out to him. Unfortunately, we're not able to do so, and not exactly sure, how accurate the starting lineup we have tonight is going to be. But I gave it to you here a few minutes ago, and the quarterback was a big question mark. Also tonight, Coach Jim Kaiser not with the team here. He has been under the weather this week, so he is back home and listening and watching, and we do wish him the very best. Get better soon, Coach. As we get ready for the kickoff, we'll be doing that here very soon with Mount Carmel kicking the ball off to our right. And we are underway. Kick goes deep back to about the 5-yard line and then through the end zone as Martin cannot catch up with that one. And I'll tell you what, there have been a few kickoffs this year that have gone through the end zone. He has 9 touchbacks this year.
He definitely has a leg, though. I was surprised.
And we welcome you back on News Radio 1070 WKOK as well. Kickoff just happened a moment ago, and it went through the end zone, and it will become a touchback. And as I was just about to say, Chief, he has 9. Yagodowski has 9 touchbacks this year. That's number 10.
And I'm surprised that
Jagodzinski, rather.
I'm surprised that his PATs aren't a better percentage because he does have a strong leg, and I think you said he was like 29 for 41.
27 for 41 in PATs. Braves have the ball at their own 20, moving left to right. They'll send a man in motion. They're going to flip it on a forward pass to the man in motion, and that's going to be Schaefer Knights. And I think
Number
it was, no,
3.
I'm sorry, it was not Schaefer Knights. It was actually Luke Snyder on the carry.
And the tackle was made by Maddox Reed. He does a nice job. He turned that play inside from his long linebacker, filled the hole. All right, that was caused. Almost like a shuttle pass, wasn't it, Kevin?
It was definitely a forward pass. Yeah, it was definitely a shovel pass. Wetzel now in the pistol, sends Snyder in motion to the far side of the field. And he'll take a straight drop, fire it over to Snyder. Snyder makes the catch at the 25, to the 30. And where are they going to spot him out of bounds? They're going to spot him out of bounds at the 37-yard line. A 17-yard completion, and they had to know it was coming to Snyder. He was coming across the middle, but still got to the edge.
Nice job by Luke to also turn that ball up. You know, Luke's a tough kid to bring down. And, you know, he made him pay that time as they missed him initially.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Shikellamy, and this is the earliest first down the Braves have had in, well, quite some time, Chief.
Exactly.
Wetzel now in the pistol formation with a wing to the near side on the far hash mark. High snap controlled, handoff, left side. Schaefer Knights breaks some tackles. Schaefer Knights down to the 50, and he will be stacked up at the 47-yard line. Actually, they'll spot him at the 48-yard line, and it will be another Shikellamy first down.
Nice job by the left side of Shikellamy line. They, you know, Knights for the first time, Schaefer Knights got through there, didn't have anybody holding on to him when he got to the line of scrimmage. That gave him a chance to make or find the seam and pick up that extra yardage.
Senior night for the Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes, and they've made some changes to their lineup as we suspected. It looks like Jack Robert, one of those guys that is playing the nose right now. Shotgun, or make that pistol for Wetzel. He'll take the direct snap, give it off to Schaefer Knights off the left side. There is nothing there. 2 red shirts in there early.
Yeah, Shikellamy and
Reed.
number 3, Reed.
Maddox Reed got in there early, and he leads the team in tackles with 77, including 7 tackles for a loss. So it'll be a loss of about a half a yard.
Kevin, this is their starting defense. They didn't substitute on the defensive side.
Well, one change from last week, though. I don't remember seeing 61 in there.
71 is another big kid, Nick Nestico. He's the one I think that they did an article in the paper about. Wants to become a doctor.
Actually, they're going to give him a yard on that one, so it will be now to the 48-yard line. Now they'll set with a slot receiver to the near side. And the play fake. Swing pass coming to the near side to Snyder. He has it. Broke a tackle the 40. Down into the 35 and inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. As Luke Snyder with another big grab.
They got 19 yards on that one, Kevin.
Indeed. And that'll park it at the 32-yard line. The Braves driving here early on to a stunned Silver Bowl right now.
Again, he's doing a nice job of catching and turning upfield, but he's also getting a couple of blocks out here from his buddies that are lined up in the wide receiver positions.
Coming up throughout the evening, we'll update you on our Blaze Alexander Ford Built Ford Tough Game of the Week. That's the one on 100.9 The Valley tonight. Bloomsburg and Lewisburg. Blaze Alexander Ford in Lewisburg, where it's worth the drive on Route 45. Coming down to the near side now in motion. And that was too much motion, as in motion was Schaefer Knight. And it looked like the tackle on the far side might have jumped.
Yeah, that time the ball was given to Derek Turbo Ortiz. Looked like it was going to be almost like an isolate. But there again, now the Braves are going to lose 5 yards. And that's one of the things that they've had some difficulty with once in a while. When they get 1st and 10, they get a penalty and they end up having to do 1st and 15.
Well, the Braves coming into last week, the least penalized team in the region, and still in that category, but they had quite a few last week the last couple of weeks rather, that did not make the coaching staff happy. In motion is Snyder. They'll give it a shovel pass to Snyder again, and this time he will be snowed under and maybe getting a yard at about the 37-yard line. They'll spot him at the 36.
Yeah, Garrett Verano, along with big Mr. Shikellamy on that tackle again.
8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Opening drive for the Braves started at the 20-yard line. Right now they're at the Mount Carmel 37-yard line.
Well, they've used up 4 minutes of this quarter, Kevin, with this drive. You know, you get a couple of first downs. That helps out a lot.
You betcha. But now it's going to be 2nd down and 14 from the 36. Martin to the far side. They'll go with 4 quicks here. Pistol formation, shotgun, or make that a running back to the left. Back to pass. Wetzel fires it, and it is complete. He threw a dart at the 26-yard line, and I'll tell you what, that one left an impression in Jaden Packer's chest.
Again, he had a lot of pressure on him back there, and at the last minute he left it go, and Packer caught it.
That was right between the 1 and the 5, and I think it's still stuck in the shoulder or in the chest pad.
Looks like 10 yards, Kevin.
It'll be 3rd down and 3 from the Mount Carmel 26-yard line. Most definitely 4-down territory. Wetzel now in the pistol. They'll go bunch to the near side. Actually, 3 to the near side, I should say. And Wetzel lost the ball. He lost it when he went to pitch it and hand it off, and he is down at the 37-yard line. It is not officially going to go down as a fumble because he was down by contact, but he did have a fumble.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's just a shame. Now they're going to have 4th down and probably 13 yards.
That's exactly what it is. 4th down and 13. Clock continues to wind, under 7 to go here in a scoreless first quarter with Shikellamy on their opening drive of the evening. So Wetzel now will bring the play in from the sidelines. And they'll send Packer out to the far side. Schaefer Knight's there too. Snyder is the wing to the far side. 1 receiver to the near side. And they'll bring Luke in motion. Wetzel back to pass, pressure. He has to throw it away, and he throws it in the vicinity of Luke Snyder, but that's about it.
Well, he got a lot of pressure that time from Maddox Reed and Drew Jagodzinski, who were fine. They brought everybody that time, Kevin, as they fired, every gap. And it's lucky that he did throw it short because the corner over here was set to step in front of, I think it was Luke Snyder there, wasn't it?
Yep, and unfortunately that's a turnover on downs. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Mount Carmel 35-yard line. And they'll bring in Gavin Marshalik, the freshman at quarterback. He'll take a 2-step drop out of the shotgun, lob one up, and it is incomplete. I don't think he and the receiver, Garrett Verano, were on the same page there. Verano looked like he was trying to cut that off to the outside, and Marshalik wanted to throw that one deep.
Yeah, pretty decent job by Rashawn Martin, too, to stay right shoulder pad to shoulder pad with him.
Coming up tonight, we'll also be picking the Shamokin Dam Health Center backbreaker play of the game. That's the play we think changed the complexion of the ball game.
Kevin, isn't it amazing that everybody tries to pass on Shikellamy the first play of the game?
Well, they got a big tight end in there in Shikatano to throw it to. They're going to keep him in as a blocker as they roll out and fire it. Did they get a foot down? It looks as if they did, yes. Receiver did get a foot down at the 44-yard line. I'm trying to see who that was. That was, again, Verano. Verano, the leading receiver on the team, with 22 carries for 339 yards and 4 touchdowns. So that'll be good enough for a 1st down, and we'll move the chains as it was almost 10 yards on the money. Marshalik now with a sidecar to his right, tight end to the right side, and now we have a whistle. The side judge will throw the flag, and he will come in and tell us that it is a dead ball foul against encroachment against the defense. And yep, they signaled it twice, so it is going to be on Shikellamy. We'll move it to the midfield stripe with 6:19 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Mount Carmel with their first opportunity here of the ball game. They'll sugar huddle this one. Everybody will look to the armbands and then come up to the line of scrimmage. Going to the former stands end of the stadium, the grocery store end, we'll call it. Marshalik back to pass with the play fake, fires it downfield. Great coverage on Farinado, rather. Perfect there by Rashawn Martin. He has been tested here already. Chief.
Yeah, again, he did a nice job of not letting Farinado get behind him on that. Little play action that time. They have not run the ball once yet, Kevin.
They have not. They have not.
I have a feeling that's going to change.
Clock stop with 6:15 to go. Ball in the midfield stripe of the far hash mark, moving right to left. Backs are in the, well, actually one back, and it's going to go to that one. Nope, play fake right down the middle. They go to the tight end who released late. Shikatano was overthrown by about 3 yards as Marshalik got a little too excited when he saw his big target, the 6'4", 260 senior, get wide open in the middle of the field.
First rule is, you're supposed to hold up the tight end if he's not trying to block you. So, and he did come free, and if that ball would have been on the money, it would have been a touchdown.
Well, the interesting thing is they kept him in as a blocker, yeah. And then all of a sudden he released late and no one saw him.
They set you up every time,
yeah.
Kevin.
No, you're right. Marshalik now with a sidecar to his left. Two receivers to the near side. The wing turned in. It's going to go to the running back, Zarski. And Zarski goes nowhere. As a matter of fact, he got dropped for a loss.
That's, I think it's Turbo Ortiz. 40, or no, I'm sorry. It's 78 that made the tackle on that one.
That's going to be Rosinski.
Rosinski made the tackle along, just a good job. And again, the Braves are going to force a punt here.
Indeed. Back deep for the Braves now is going to be Luke Snyder. It'll be Jagodzinski punting it from his own 33-yard line. Good snap. A little bit of pressure. Oh, wow. There was a lot more pressure than I thought. And that one hits and rolls out of bounds inside the 20.
Actually, he caught it, Kevin.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't see him catch it. I thought it let it go out of bounds.
He caught it and stepped out. He caught it over his shoulder. A la Willie Mays in the polo grounds.
That was a heck of a catch at the 12-yard line. But what I was talking about there was a lot more pressure than I originally thought, as Elijah Fernandez almost found himself in position to block that.
And Rashad Martin was there, too. Kevin, who ran the ball for Mount Carmel in that last play? I forget. They got thrown for the loss.
That was going to be Zarski that did that. 1st and 10 for the Braves. Their second possession at their own 11-yard line with 5:31 to go. Scoreless first quarter. Wetzel looking over the defense in the pistol. High snap controlled. Hands it off. It's Schaefer Knights working his way to about the 11-yard line, and that'll be about it. That'll give us an opportunity to pause. 10 seconds for station identification. This is Shikellamy Braves football.
Well,
defensive stop, Chicatano and Reed for the Tornadoes. No gain brings up a 2nd and 10.
Bailey and Reed in on that tackle again. It goes, both those guys are linebackers, so the defensive line's holding up those Shikellamy blockers, and linebackers are doing what they're supposed to do: fill those gaps and make the tackle.
Braves go with 4 quicks to try and spread out this defense. And back to pass Wetzel. Wetzel will come out to Snyder, and Snyder cut that one off, but Wetzel threw it over his head, incomplete.
Yeah, it was almost like he, lobbed it. It wasn't a nice, pass. It wasn't a bullet.
No.
It was the opposite of a bullet. It was like a lofty pass on that one.
A lofty pass.
Lofty pass.
Isn't that what you have when you live in the city, a lofty?
I guess. We call that lollipop passes in basketball. All right.
Well, that'll be coming up here in a little over a month, as a matter of fact. We'll get that started with the Macy Manier tournament on WKOK.
I didn't know if I could use basketball jargon here or not.
Oh, sure. Wetzel gets it. Pressure coming. He's got to get rid of it way earlier than he wanted to. Snyder was on an out pattern toward the sticks, and it was open, but Wetzel had no chance to do anything with that ball. It'll be 4th down and 10 from the 11.
Well, he's going backwards when he's throwing the football, so that's going to eliminate a lot of your accuracy right away. But, again, look at this. This is where the Mount Carmel gets better field position.
Well, they've turned the field position around. You're right. Braves drove it all the way down to the 35-yard line of Mount Carmel in the first possession. And now with his heels in the end zone on the white diamond, in the red and white diamond end zone, is going to be Coots, who will get it away. It hits just short of the 40, rolls out of bounds at the Mount Carmel 40-yard line. And that's where the Red Tornadoes will take over with a short field.
Not a bad decision. Farinado and Verano both back there are burners, so either one of them gets the ball. You're going to have to make sure you keeping your lanes on the way down and don't let them get outside.
What's the line from the commercial? Stay in your lane, bro.
Stay in your lane. Of course, it's like your car. It's always beeping because you're always getting out of the lane.
Well, that's why I have that in my car. They're going to go with a again, that unbalanced
direct
formation.
Snap.
It goes to the direct snap. You're right, to the fullback, Widener. And Widener will go ahead for a gain of 5. And what they do is they kind of go up into a pistol formation and then have 2 fullbacks almost directly behind the line of scrimmage, and then they end up snapping it direct to.
It looks
one
like
of
he
those
either lines
fullbacks.
up between the center guard or between the guard
Yes.
tackle gap.
Yep.
It's hard to see from here.
And he's going to line up there again.
I think he's right behind the guard, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
and then
you.
they turn the wing in on the far side to the inside. Now he comes in motion. They're going to give it to the motion man, and he tries to get to the corner, but he is spun down close to the first down for Verano as he's drugged down there by Derek Turbo Ortiz, and it will be a first down.
Yeah, he did a really nice job of running him down. Again, that's that student body right.
Ball at the Shikellamy 26-yard line now. And again, getting back to what we expected to see Mount Carmel do a lot of is run.
You think they passed the ball to set up the run here, Kevin?
Maybe. And here comes the running play again to the near side. It's going to go to Farinado, and Farinado will get to the 21-yard line. He'll pick up 5 on that carry. He's carried the ball this year 25 times for 270 yards and 4 touchdowns. He averages 11 yards a carry. It is amazing. The guy with the smallest yardage on carries that has over 20 is Verano, and he's averaging 7. That's why this team is averaging 8 yards a play. It's a lot of numbers, but Marshalik, the quarterback. Gavin will pitch the ball to the far side is Diaz. Diaz will get to the corner, spins out of one tackle, can't spin out of the second, and will be dropped down at the 18-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3. It'll bring up a third down and about 2.
That's one thing that Diaz does. You never get what I would call a really good shot at him. And again, Rashad Martin was the one that brought him down eventually.
Clock winding with 2:15 remaining here in the first quarter. We're still scoreless. Mount Carmel with their second possession. Going to run that same tight formation. It's going to be Diaz around the right side. Diaz breaks a tackle, spins over one, and comes up with a first down run down to the 12-yard line. And that will bring up a 1st and 10 at the Shikellamy 12. Clock now under 2 minutes to go in a scoreless first quarter.
I'd say you'd get about 8 yards on that, Kevin. Again, when you're on the left side of Shikelamy's defensive line, and now they're, what I would say, a little bit unbalanced here, Kevin.
Yeah, and they turn that wing in on the far side. Back to pass. They'll fire it into the end zone. Incomplete. Some contact there on Verano, but that pass was really not catchable. Looked like it looked as if Marshalik was looking for more of a post pattern, and Verano was looking at the corner.
Yeah, or just it looked like he was. If there would be a seam there, it looked like he threw it where the seam pass would have gone.
Clock stop with 1:34 to go. Scoreless first quarter. Mount Carmel the second down and goal at the 11-yard line. They can still get a first down at the 1. And they'll go again with that tight, wing tight, turned in formation. And Widener, the fullback. They're going to direct snap to Widener, and he will sneak through after it looked like he was stopped originally. Actually, it wasn't Widener, the ball carrier. I'm going to correct that. Oh, it was. Okay.
It was Widener. It was a direct snap to him. You got a pretty good spot on that too, Kevin.
There was a huge sea of red in there, and I couldn't quite tell what was going on, but Widener did get the call there. And he will pick up the gain of about 5, bring up third down and goal, or third down rather, and 6 at the 7-yard line. Marshalik will take it. He'll hand it off, and it goes to Farinado. Farinado works his way to the goal line, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Carmel. 54.3 remaining here in the first quarter of play, and Mount Carmel has now struck first. And they'll bring in Jagodzinski for the extra point.
Jagodzinski on for the point after attempt.
Jagodzinski ready to get this one up. High snap controlled. The kick is up. Line drive shifting its way to the left upright, but good. So with 54.3 to go here in the first quarter of play, It is Mount Carmel 7 and Shikellamy nothing. And they did it, Chief, going right back to what they did before, and that is running the football.
Yeah,
or what you expected
Yeah,
them
exactly.
to do.
When you run that many people at your right or left ends, and you give the back an opportunity to look and find the hole. But that's one thing Mount Carmel runners always tend to do. They find it north and south. They're not trying to go around as much as they're trying to find the holes. They try to move north or move east and west and up the field.
Well, let's take a look at our Blaze Alexander Built Ford Tough Game of the Week. Bloomsburg leading Lewisburg 3-0 that game in the first quarter. And, you know, with all the teams opting out right now in AAA, Lewisburg will be a 7 seed and will be the last seed to make the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, Danville will get a bye.
Danville would likely get a bye, yes. I always say likely because every time I think it's automatic, they change it on me. Agazinski will boot the ball away from the near hash mark, and it will hit at about the 10 and roll its way into the end zone for touchback number 11 on the season.
It looked like Luke and Rashawn, either one of them thought the other one was going to catch the ball, and it bounced between them.
Well, this was a game a couple of years ago that was that bounced Shikellamy from playing Southern Columbia. And now they're playing again tonight, Southern Columbia and Wyoming area. They're tied at 7. That game just out the way between Elysburg and Catawissa. Of course, the Braves ended up with Holy Redeemer at Berwick that year.
If you remember last year, Wyoming area basically was ahead most of the game, and,
yes.
and Southern won it in the last couple of minutes.
Wetzel will get the direct snap. He'll hand it off left side. And he is met immediately by Reed as Schaefer had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Maddox Reed, along with, again, Shikellamy, from his right tackle position, or right end, depending on what you want to call him out there. He would be a right end.
Bring up a 2nd down and 10. Play clock has 20 seconds to go. Game clock with 27. So this one, barring a quick incomplete pass, will be the final play of the first quarter. They'll quickly send 2 to the near side with 9 on the play clock. 2 to the far side. And play fake. Wetzel rolls out, sets up, right-hander fires it, threw it over the head of Schaefer Knights, incomplete. And with 6.8 seconds remaining, they will have another play here in this first quarter with Mount Carmel leading at 7-0. It'll be 3rd and 10 from the Shikellamy 20.
Almost looked like a waggle play, Kevin, because it looked like Lucas rolled out to the left, and the fullback, who was Schaefer Knights, came out of the backfield and ran and out about 10 yards down the field. So I wasn't watching the line play. I don't know if the guards pulled to that side or not.
Semi-waggle.
Any way you look at it, it was incomplete. Again, a lot of pressure by Mount Carmel's defense.
One receiver now, make it one receiver in the near side, one in the slot. They'll still kind of go with 4 quicks, put a man in motion. They're going to flip it to Snyder. Snyder makes a man miss, ducks ahead to the 25-yard line before he is brought down at the 25-yard line.
Chase Balichek, all right.
It is Balichek, the safety.
Who I would imagine might be the twin brother of Matthew Balichek because they're both sophomores, all right.
Well, that'll do it for the first quarter of play. After the first few minutes, it is 7-0. Mount Carmel leading Shikellamy. Second quarter coming up next on WKOK, WKOK.com, and the WKOK Sports YouTube channel.
Mark and Troy here from Zimmerman Motors. It's Jeep Adventure Days, and we're celebrating with the biggest Jeep sale of the year.
Run, don't walk. We'll even pick you up. Every new Jeep is discounted for this event.
Now that's huge, Troy. Every Jeep discounted. You never pay over sticker here. So get here soon for the best selection. Adventure Days is all about having fun in your Jeep, and we are Jeep people. Let us show you why we sell more Jeeps for less.
So come in and see why people have been coming from all over the region to Zimmerman's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Sunbear.
And experience what we call the Zimmerman different. Call 570-988-JEEP or visit us online at ZimmermanJeep.com.
4th and 6 at the 24-yard line here at the Silver Bowl in Mount Carmel. And back to punt will be Coons from his own 10-yard line. 2 back deep at about the 45. Coons gets it, puts it away. And it drops into the hands of Verano rather. Verano at the 50 and is drugged down by Schaefer Knights, who took a shot from his own player as he was grabbing the back of Verano's jersey. It'll be Mount Carmel ball 1st and 10 at the Shikellamy 43.
Yeah, Isaac slowed him down, and then it was number 73, which would be Cooper Rouse, came in to put him down. And again, one of the other Braves players ran into Schaefer Knights. That's probably the hardest he was hit all night.
It was the hardest hit he saw all night to this point anyway. Mount Carmel now goes back to a 3-receiver set, including the tight end in Shikellamy.
New quarterback.
And he will fire it deep, and a great catch leaping above. Jacob Schultz catches it on the helmet of Packer, and Spears completes his first pass on his first attempt all the way down to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 28.
It was a great catch, Kevin. I mean, Packer had him, looked like he had him,
almost looked like the Bartosik catch in the Shikellamy Mount Carmel game where he caught it on the head.
Yep.
Spears now the quarterback, the 5'10", 160 junior. Flags fly. And this is going to be offsides, but I did not see who it was against. The official came in, and the referee will say offsides against Shikellamy. So it'll be a free 5 for Mount Carmel. That'll be 1st and 5 at the 10-yard line.
You line up in the neutral zone? I mean, I'm not sure. I can't tell.
Yeah, our angle was tough to see, but I would imagine that's what it was, because I didn't see anybody move. Spears with the sidecar right, rolls out to the near side, has some receivers in the end zone. It is complete. No, incomplete. Trapping the ball right at the end zone is Ferranato. That was really close to being yet another touchdown pass. You know, collectively, this team has 16 touchdown passes from their 3 quarterbacks who see most of the action. Clock stops with 11:20 to go here in the second quarter. Mount Carmel leading at 7-0 here on WKOK and the WKOK Sports YouTube channel. Welcoming those of you listening online, on the radio, on your phones, or watching us on your smart TV on our YouTube channel. Play fake right down the middle of the field. The firing is complete to Schultz, and Schultz, who made the great catch earlier, finishes off the touchdown run. And Spears gets his 9th touchdown of the season throwing the ball.
It seems that the Coach Dara is trying to work on his passing game, Kevin. They got themselves set up with the run, and then the last 3 plays have all been pass plays as they tried to score.
Schultz picks up his 6th touchdown of the season. Snaps down, the kick is up high enough, and it clips off the upright and does not go between. It goes wide left, and it remains 13-0 Mount Carmel after the 10-yard touchdown reception. 11:17 to go in this one in the second quarter. Coming up tomorrow on News Radio 1070 WKOK, the Penn State Nittany Lions will be in action. The Penn State Nittany Lions will take on Minnesota for the Governor's Victory Bell. Steve Jones, Jack Ham, Roger Corey, Brian Tripp have the tailgate show at 6. Kickoff at 7:30 tomorrow night on WKOK, WKOK.com, and the SBC Sports YouTube channel. Chief, we're going to get an update here on the Phillies throughout the evening as well. On Eagle 107 tonight, the Phillies are taking on the San Diego Padres in Philadelphia. That game just getting underway. And that means the Seals are on Eagle 107 tonight, taking on Montoursville. At last check, that game was scoreless. We'll update you on the scoreboard in just a few.
Would they be on 94.1?
Isn't that what I said?
You said they're on 107. point. The
Well,
Seals,
the Eagles, but the
And-
Seals are on 94KX tonight. You
no,
are
the,
correct.
The Eagles aren't playing tonight.
Did I say the Eagles?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I said the Seals. I don't know.
No, instead of Phillies, you said Eagles.
Now I'm confused.
Well, anyway, there's a penalty. Mount Carmel was offsides on the kickoff. That'll give you a chance to regroup.
See, I was trying to do my best Mark Lawrence and giving you the whole sports schedule all
I
at
got
once,
you,
and I can't do it. I'm not talented
There's only
enough.
one mark.
That's true. And that 5-yard penalty will march it off to the 35-yard line. The Phillies are taking on the Padres on Eagle 107 as we speak.
And the Seals.
The Seals are on 94KX, and the Eagles have the weekend off. How's that?
Sounds good. And the Steelers are down in Miami,
On Sunday night.
and they'll be on what 101,
That'll be on 100.9.
100.9.
6:20 is the pregame there for the Steelers and the Dolphins, the Fish. Well, this one is not going to make the end zone. It's going to give a chance for a return at the 15-yard line. Right up the middle. Boy, a great return to the 35 to the 37-yard line for Luke Snyder. Again, these return guys for Shikellamy have the intelligence and the brains to go right up the middle and not run east and west. How many times in high school do we see kids go east and west?
Exactly. And again, a tackle made by Chase Belichick and Maddox Reed. Maddox Reed, I think, has been on just about every tackle
He is
that we've
around every
Yeah.
play. Yeah. He is around every play. So the Braves trailing it now 13-0 with 11:11 remaining here in the first half. We'll have the football at the Shikellamy 38. They'll send Snyder in motion. They'll give it to Snyder. He's going to throw the ball. He's got Packer open. Packer made the catch, and he's going to go the distance. Touchdown, Shikellamy! Jaden Packer catches it, and they'll take it all the way for a touchdown on the halfback pass.
I would say, Kevin, that's 65 yards.
62 to be exact.
62.
Wow, and a great grab by Packer, who picks up his 4th catch of the season. It's his longest of the season. And it actually, let's see, is 8 times as long as the amount of yards he had in his first 3 catches of the year.
That's a little turnaround or give back, because that's exactly the same type of play that Schultz had when he took the ball away from Shikellamy. And now there's a penalty, probably.
Yeah, is there too many men?
Yeah, there's 12 people in the field. Illegal substitution.
Yep, illegal participation, illegal substitution. That'll be against Shikellamy.
I'll have to move the ball back. Nick's going to have to kick it 5 yards back farther. So.
It's in his range.
But anyway, I mean, great concentration by Jaden that time, and then when the defender for Mount Carmel fell down, I mean, he was at Packer's feet, and he still kept his balance and turned and sprinted into the end zone. So great job by the Braves. And you know, the old halfback plays now. Luke Snyder's got a 62-yard touchdown pass and run.
That is his 3rd pass of the season. He did play some quarterback. Now that extra point is good, but they have a flag
before the snap.
Yeah, it's not a big surprise to see Snyder play quarterback. Well, throw the ball. He did play quarterback a couple of times this year, as the Braves have had some issues with health at quarterback.
Well, are they gonna,
and this might be against Mount Carmel.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, this one's going to be offsides against Mount Carmel.
So now
we're back where we started
at.
Right back where we started from. Isn't that a song?
If it isn't a song, it should be one. Of course, we'll let Mark Lawrence figure that one out, and he can play some bumper music.
So with 17 seconds ticked off the clock, the Braves get a 62-yard halfback pass. Now to make it 7 points. Kick is up. It is just above the line of scrimmage, but it is over the crossbar and good. So with 11 minutes left in the half, it is 13-7. Mount Carmel over Shikellamy after the 62-yard Packer touchdown reception on the halfback pass.
Hey, good for the Braves. I mean, that's a great play. That's one of those situations a lot of times where the offensive player, the receiver like Packer, doesn't see the ball exactly, doesn't concentrate, and he drops it, or the defender picks it off. But you know, just a nice job. And you know, the defender was right in his face. And I forget who the Mount Carmel corner was, but he was right with him. So
I think it was Verano.
Yeah.
I believe it was Verano on that one. Well, let's take a look at our scoreboard right now. By the way, we could be, I mean, if Shikellamy can turn it around, that could be our Shaboka Dam Health Center backbreaker play of the game by far.
We could make it anyway, even if the score doesn't, even
Just
if it
because
doesn't,
because we have that power.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Taking a look at the high school football scoreboard at WKOK.com. Selinsgrove leads Montoursville 7-0 in the second. Danville 14, Bellefonte nothing in the first. Wyoming area and Southern tied at 7 in the first. These are all first quarter scores. Penns Valley 7, Midwest nothing. Milton 13, Cowanesque Valley nothing. Muncie 13, Northwest nothing. Jersey Shore 14, Canton nothing. Mifflinburg 7, Warrior Run nothing. And Nanacoke leading Shamokin 7-6. And that's our scoreboard rundown. Diaz back deep. They're going to onside kick it. It took a great hop. And the Braves have it. It took a great hop, and it pops right into the hands
44.
of number 44, Blaze Souter, and it will be a Shikellamy football.
They're going to wonder.
Did it go 10 yards is the question.
That's the question.
There is a flag on the play. Oh, my. And he must have been right about the 49-yard line at worst.
I thought he had it.
I did too. It hopped literally right up in his chest, and it must have been at the 40-yard line. Yep, illegal touching against the Braves. Oh,
so
wow.
That gives them excellent field position.
That's a heartbreaker if you're a Shikellamy fan, because that would have really shifted momentum. So
And
he must have popped up.
Right. It looked to me like he got the ball a yard. Like at the 9-yard mark, the ball bounced up and he got it, and his momentum took him across the 10 yards.
If that ball would have bounced just a whisker later, it is a perfectly executed onside kick. Oh, my. Mount Carmel now with the ball with 11 minutes remaining here in the half, leading at 13-7 at the midfield stripe. It'll be Marshalik back to hand the ball off, and he will give it to Diaz, and Diaz got stuffed. He goes nowhere. Schaefer Knights, Turbo Ortiz on the tackle.
Schaefer Knights just stuck him, put him right up as he filled the hole. So nice job by the defense. Again, the linebackers got to where they were supposed to be.
A chilly night here at the Silver Bowl in Mount Carmel. It was a nice warm day, but you could feel October coming back here this evening. It is definitely football weather now, Chief.
All right.
Mark Lawrence there at our Blue Hill Studios will tell more about that in a minute. There's a pass play down the middle of the field, incomplete, intended for Schultz, and that will bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Thank you, Mark.
Right back where we started from.
Exactly.
Yes. So those of you watching on our WKOK Sports YouTube channel, Mark Lawrence is our radio producer tonight. We have a little music that comes in out of breaks, and that is what we were trying to share with you, but I was a little late sharing that sharing that audio with you. He's getting good at this.
Yes, he's real good at it.
Yeah. Pretty soon he's going to be an on-the-mark producer. Here comes the back to pass. Sidearm pass, incomplete. And you know what? There was no opportunity for Farinato to get that one. He was literally engaged with Martin. And that was just a straight throwaway, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I think it was a pass to number 4. I think because they brought
that would be Farinato.
They brought all 3 of the linemen out here, but
Farinato was blocking.
No, that was another runner, I think, wasn't it? But Martin sure had some guy tied up.
Yeah, that's who it was intended for anyway. Snyder back deep at his own 10-yard line.
Next year we'll have instant replay.
Jagosinski will boot the ball away. I want a telestrator for you. Snyder will take a fair catch at the 10-yard line, and he'll get tapped on the helmet there by Verano. And the Braves will take over with just a minute gone by in this second quarter from the last time they had the ball. 10:04 to go here in the quarter. The first quarter flew by. This one is just slowly ticking.
Well, Mount Carmel's throwing the ball a lot. That's the second time that I think they've forced Mount Carmel to punt, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's, I'm sorry, Kevin, but in this season, that's a major accomplishment.
I totally agree.
Especially against a team that has such a potent offense.
Averaging 8 yards a play. I say it again. That's a whopping number. By the way, Danville is really starting to throttle Bellefonte, 41-0 now. Here's the play fake. Nope, it's going to be a handoff. And Schaefer Knights has it. Schaefer Knights down the sidelines. Schaefer Knights to the 50, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown!
Wow.
Shikellamy! Schaefer Knights, the longest play of the year at 90. And wow, what a run.
That's nothing more than an off-tackle play, and they did a nice job of blocking down on the play side. They kicked out the corner or the linebacker in that spot, and again, Isaac Schaefer Knights ran away from Mount Carmel's defensive backs. That is saying something. You see the last thing he did, he kind of turned it inside, and that catches the guy that was in pursuit off stride. And again, the Braves just electrifying everybody here.
And stunning everyone in red right now. Extra point, snap, down, set, kick, up, and Shikellamy has the lead with 9:50 to go here in the second quarter.
That's another famous Isaac Schaefer Knights one-play touchdown drive.
He's got drives of 80 and now 90 yards.
One play
on both.
Two plays,
of them.
100. Hey, Kevin, believe it or not, that puts him over 100 yards right now.
Well, yeah.
He has 102 yards in here in the second quarter.
And as long as he doesn't lose any yards, this will be his third 100-yard game of the season. Wow. That is one heck of a play. Coach Kaiser, I know you're listening or watching tonight. Now, calm down. It was a big play. I don't want you too excited here.
That was incredible. Thank Packer and Schaefer Knights for giving you a chance to really exemplify your touchdown calls. All right.
Wow, you don't get too many of those. Oh my!
You had two in the last 3 minutes.
I
man.
know. That's what I'm saying. I'll enjoy every minute of this one. Wow.
Send that tape in, all right?
We'll get you updated on our Blaze Alexander Ford Built Ford Tough Game of the Week. It is Lewisburg 21, Bloomsburg 3.
Well, Bloomsburg has their quarterback back, and they also have that sophomore running back that's been doing so well.
How big is that 3 and out at the midfield stripe by the Braves, though, after the onside kick that almost worked? Here comes the boot. And this one's going to be a squib, bounces around, taken by one of the up men, and he'll get it to the outside. Come to the near side of the 50, put a stiff arm out, and get knocked out of bounds. And that was Reed on the carry.
Not only can the man tackle, but he can also pick him up and put him down as he gives him excellent field position at the Shikellamy 45. That's the one tough thing about a squib kick, Kevin. If the middle line, one guy picks it up, it's usually about the 30 or 35-yard line, and they're going to end up getting good field position.
All right, now Mount Carmel has a really good field position at the 46-yard line with 9:42 to go here in the first half. Shikellamy leading it 14-13.
Freshman's back in at quarterback.
It is going to be the freshman, and giving the ball off and getting bounced around. I'll tell you what, this is a Shikellamy team right now that is really, really pumped. And Luke Blessing got bounced around there for a gain of 4, and that was a tough 4.
He got slowed up at the line of scrimmage and turned around, and then the defensive backs came in to finish things up.
And it is, again, as Chief said, Gavin Marsalic, the freshman, back at quarterback. They'll go with that tight formation, the fullback and the wing turned in. Here comes the handoff near side. And to the 40 and the 38-yard line is going to be where the ball carrier, number 24, Luke Blessing, will be, the sophomore, getting a second call back-to-back, gain of about 3.
Isaac Schaefer Knights in on the tackle.
Huge third down now, the clock winding with 8:45 to go in the first half, and Shikellamy leading at 14-13 over the undefeated Red Tornadoes.
Seems to be a sense of urgency all of a sudden in Mount Carmel's offense.
Marsalic in the shotgun now. He'll take the direct snap. The ball's on the ground, and Shikellamy had a shot at it, but couldn't quite get it as Blessing hops right on it before
Schaefer.
Matt Schaefer could get the turnover.
Yeah, it looked like Matt was going to get it, but he did hop on it really quick. That's a loss of 3 yards, Kevin.
And it will be Blessing, who never had that ball on the handoff. And Mount Carmel going for it on 4th down. Braves defense looking to make a big stand here and get the ball near midfield. They've struggled on 4th down this year. Handoff inside. Farinato, he's got the first down, and he's over the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Big run for Farinato on the inside handoff. They ran it to the light side. Chief, we talked about that in the pregame.
Exactly, the weak side as far as the line goes. So I'd say about 18 yards on that one, Kevin.
It'll go down to the 26-yard line, 1st and 10 with 7:35 to go as Farinato gives them the big 4th down conversion.
Again, the 4th down conversion, is something that hurt the Braves last week, and it hurt them here.
Marsalek will get it, play fake, back to pass, has time, down the middle of the field. Touchdown! Mount Carmel hits Verano in stride on the post pattern. And Mount Carmel has jumped back after the 26-yard pass from Marsalek to Verano.
Just a post pattern, Kevin, maybe a skinny post. And, you got inside of Rashawn Martin, and there wasn't anybody over to help him. And, you can't get in the hip of these Mount Carmel receivers because, they're going to go right by you, and that's exactly what happened. Nice. It was a well-thrown ball by Marshall.
Right on the money.
Marshall, yes, yep. Exactly. That's his first completion after 6 attempts, Kevin.
His third touchdown pass, and that will be a reception for Verano, his 5th. 2-point conversion coming, and the run over the right side is in for 2. Blessing will convert it, and it is 21-14 Mount Carmel after the 2-point conversion.
Well, they're exchanging Christmas card addresses in the end zone right now, Kevin. There's a penalty.
And there's a late flag. Yeah, again, I think I said this actually, it might have been on Saturday at Yale. But I said, when you see a flag go 30 feet in the air, there's a referee that is not a happy person, and that is going to be a personal foul penalty. When the flag flies that high in the air.
We obviously have no idea, what transpired. Blessing was in the end zone. And, here's the situation. Mount Carmel never expected to be behind by a point here at this point in the football game.
Not in a dogfight.
So, they're not gonna tolerate anything as far as, an extra shove. So
okay, now we'll see. It actually did not even officially make a signal on what the penalty was. It no doubt is unsportsmanlike conduct. Question is it offsetting or not? I don't know, because I did not see the official make the signal. And the referee went back to the 5-yard line and back to the goal line, and that's where he's going to hang out. So it is unsportsmanlike conduct against Mount Carmel. So that's going to march it all the way back to the 25-yard line. So it's going to be Mount Carmel that gets the 15-yard penalty there, Chief.
Yeah, that's amazing. I thought there was some exchanges of some shoves that started that whole thing, and then all of a sudden the entire Mount Carmel offensive line at that point came over and like I said, they were there was probably some heated language, and evidently the Mount Carmel player probably was the last one that got caught.
Braves have a chance now to get some good field position. Martin on the far side, and he will have an opportunity to return this one. Nope, it's going to be Snyder at the 25, to the 30, 35, 40, right up the middle of the field, the midfield stripe. Hits a guy right in stride and keeps going to the 46-yard line.
Well, you know what, Kevin? There's a lot of hard hitting going on out there by both teams, and Luke Snyder did a great job. He didn't go down with the first shot as he came up through the middle there, did a little pinball, and it took about 4 or 5 guys to bring him down.
So Mount Carmel now giving Shikellamy their best starting field position of the ball game at the Red Tornado 47-yard line. 7:07 to go here in the half. Mount Carmel regaining the lead, 21-14. 4 receivers in the pattern as the Braves spread them out with the pistol. Wetzel is the quarterback. Long count. He'll take the snap. 3-step drop. Lobs one up. He's got a man. It's Martin. Martin couldn't make the catch. He bobbled it at the 22-yard line. He was
ball.
wide open, and that was nothing but the green grass of the end zone.
That was a well-thrown ball by Lucas Wetzel, and that ball was very catchable. Maybe he was surprised that he was that wide open. I don't know, but he got behind the corner.
At the 47-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Wetzel now with 4 quicks again. 1 back behind him in the pistol formation. Back to pass. Pressure's coming. Dumps it off Schaefer Knights. Lost the ball. Is that intercepted?
Yeah, it is.
It was bobbled, and it bobbles right into the hands of Chase Ballack, who now picks off his 4th interception of the season. That's a team high.
Again, that pass was right there. And that's the receiver's fault, Kevin.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Schaefer Knights had it and bobbled it.
Yeah, and that's 2 down in a row. And that one cost the Braves big time because that's a turnover.
It indeed is a turnover with just under 7 to go in one of the longest second quarters in the history of high school football. And we still have half of it to go. Back at quarterback now is going to be... Well, they're going to hand the ball off to Farinato. Spears is back at quarterback, and Farinato gets maybe 1.5 yards. They'll spot him at the 47-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 9 for the Red Tornadoes.
Looked like Luke Snyder on the tackle on that one.
Now Carmel quickly coming to the line of scrimmage. Spears, the junior at quarterback, as the rotating door at quarterback for Mount Carmel continues. He'll take the direct snap high. He'll hand it off to Diaz. Diaz breaks a tackle to 50. He is really the opposite of most of these running backs. He is very small and very quick foot, and that one was good enough for a gain down to the Shikellamy 42-yard line.
That was, again, they had him about maybe 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, but he got out of that and very quick, very fast. Like I said, nobody ever gets a good lick at him.
10-yard gain for that one. 21-14, Mount Carmel leading Shikellamy. The Braves jump offside.
Yep, that time one of the players' helmets came across the line of scrimmage. That's the 3rd time that's happened tonight, Kevin.
And that will be against Shikellamy. Couple of updates on our scoreboard now. Danville in the second quarter leading Bellefonte 42-0. Southern Columbia 35, Wyoming area 14. After getting handled by Mount Carmel last week, Southern Columbia bouncing back. That'll be the next opponent for the Braves on the final home game and the final game of the regular season. Phillipsburg Osceola leading Montgomery in the first, 21-0. Here comes the inside handoff. It goes to Verano. Verano will get it and get enough for the first down, gain of 6 to the 32-yard line.
And
at least I think it's enough.
Yeah, Isaac Schaefer Knight's in on the tackle.
Actually, he's going to be about 1 yard short. I'm sorry, I said.
Give him 5 instead of
11.
Yeah,
now they're going to move the chains. It will be 6.
Verano picks up the first down.
So the clock is stopped with 5:29 to go here in the first quarter. Now they'll set the chains, wind the clock. Ball at the Shikellamy 32-yard line with Spears. Man in motion. Ball's on the ground. Shikellamy had it, and it is going to be Shikellamy football.
Big 72.
Osvaldo Baez picks it up.
He's excited, folks. He is excited.
He just enveloped that football.
He's given his best pose as far as we talk about weightlifting or bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Good for the big guy.
And I believe this is his first year playing football, too, if I remember correctly.
Well, he's got the body for playing that defensive line, Kevin.
Well, he got the fumble that time. There was no chance of that ball getting in Verano's hand, and the Red Tornadoes put one on the ground. A team that is +8 on the season. Shikellamy has a chance now with 5:15 to go in the half. The ball at their own 37-yard line. Switching sides now on the run is going to be Turbo Ortiz. Back to pass. Wetzel fires it. He's got a man. It's incomplete. Luke had it for a second, and a great defensive play by Verano knocks it out of his hand.
That was a well-thrown ball,
It was
Kevin.
right on the money.
I mean, it was like almost a little skinny post down the seam, and and he was in front of the guy. That's 3 in a row now that Lucas Snyder has delivered. I'm not
Lucas
saying
Wetzel.
Lucas Wetzel. I'm not saying that that there isn't contact in that, but they're catchable.
They are. Wetzel will have the ball right now in the pistol with the snap. There it is. He'll play fake, come out to Schaefer Knights. He got drilled. No chance there, as Chase Ballack said, I know this play, and I will show you the turf. And Schaefer Knights will actually lose 3. Bring up 3rd down and 13 at the Shikellamy 33-yard line. 4:45 to go and winding here in the first half. Braves trail it 21-14 to the 8-0 Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes. 2 receivers far side, 2 to the near side. They'll spread them out. Moving over to the right side is Derek Turber-Ortiz. Direct snap to Wetzel. He's going to lob one up, and that is a pass interference, but they said the ball was not catchable. He was shoved out of, it was definitely shoved out of bounds. There was no question that Martin was shoved out of bounds, but the ball was not catchable, and that's why the flag didn't come out.
I've got this post in front of me, and I was going between one window to the other, and I didn't see the push, but Rashad.
Well, he almost went into the first down marker.
Well,
that was the
Rashad
push.
Martin came off the field a lot faster than he wanted to.
He definitely went into the first down marker. So the Braves will punt the ball away. And a low snap, controlled, and blocked. There was no chance for that one. It spun around and then is recovered and knocked out of bounds. Al Bailey is the one who recovers it.
58 blocked it.
Yep, the block was actually by Geary. And that will give Mount Carmel the ball at the Shikellamy 24-yard line. But again, the low snap threw all the timing off, Chief.
Yeah, and I think he came right up the middle too, Kevin.
So the ball at the 24-yard line with 4:17 remaining in the half. After Mount Carmel turned the ball over, they stopped Shikellamy and then got the block punt. Marshalik now back at quarterback. He will hand the ball off. And coming through the first wave is Blessing. Blessing to the 20 and into the 19-yard line. That will be a gain of 5.
Again, Knights and Turbert in on the tackle.
Turber having a really, really good defensive game here tonight. Osvaldo Baez is just sitting in there now going, come on, somebody fumble the football again. That was fun. 21-14 with 3:40 remaining and the clock winding here in the half. Play action. Nope, it's going to be a handoff, and it's going to go to Farinato, and he will get to the 16-yard line.
3rd down.
And it will indeed be 3rd down and about 3 from the 16. They'll spot it actually at the 17-yard line. Clock winding with under 3:20 remaining here in the half. Mount Carmel leading it 21-14 here at the Silver Bowl.
Don't be surprised if they put the ball in the air here, Kevin.
They've had some success doing that here in the red zone. 9 on the play clock now. And Marshalik will hand the ball off. Inside handoff to Verano, and Verano will be close to that first down marker. I think he had to get to about the 15. He made it to the 14, and it is going to be enough for a first down, and it'll be 1st and goal.
He actually got to it looks like the 13-yard line, Kevin.
I'm going to correct that. It is not 1st and goal. I'm sorry. It is going to be 1st and 10 at the 13, and you are correct.
Ball's on the 13-yard line, 1st and 10, Big Red.
Marshalik now with the ball. He will hand it off. Schaefer Knights in to make the stop. Luke Snyder on the bottom of that, holding up the running back who appeared to be Blessing, but he got hit so hard and so fast that it was Blessing that it was hard to tell. He did pick up a gain of about 2 to the 11-yard line with 2:15 remaining here in the first half. And Mount Carmel leading at 21-14. Remember, Mount Carmel will get the ball to start the second half. And a timeout by Shikellamy. So Shikellamy taking a timeout. That'll give us an opportunity to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Shikellamy Braves football.
Seconds remaining until halftime.
Chief, I'm going to give you a chance to check your phone and get us an update on the Phillies and the Padres from Citizens Bank Park while I give you the Blaze Alexander Ford Built Ford Tough game of the week. Lewisburg leading Bloomsburg 21-3. That game now at the half on 100.9 The Valley. Blaze Alexander Ford, where it's worth the drive to Route 45. Selinsgrove right now shutting out Montoursville on the road 14-0. That game at the half. And Chief, you have the update.
1-0 good guys at the end of one.
1-0 Phillies after one. That game on Eagle 107, which I guarantee you we will be listening to on the way home.
Schwarber, I think, hit a home run, Kevin.
A Schwarbomb.
Yeah, because he's 1 for 1, scored a run, and has an RBI.
There you go. And that will go to the 10-yard line, is getting the ball. Looked like Verano might have gotten that one and
16,
got about a
16
yard.
they said carried the ball. So who would that be?
Well, no.
Marshalik. No, it
It's got to be
it.
Verano.
It
Had
was
to be
Verano,
14.
14.
So it'll be 3rd down and 6 from the 10-yard line. Under 1:35 to go here in the half. Mount Carmel leading it by a touchdown. They'll go with that big jumbo set to the right. And that's where they'll run the ball. And they'll get down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. And not much more than that one in the running room there for, it looked like Blessing there on the carry.
It was Blessing.
So it is 4th down and 3 from the 6-yard line. They have to get to the 3-yard line to get a new set of downs. Mount Carmel will go for it with under a minute remaining here in the half. This could be a Shamokin Dam Health Center backbreaker play of the game. They'll go pistol with the I and then a wildcat formation with Blessing and a timeout by Shikellamy when they saw that wildcat with Blessing and they wanted to talk about it. So good timeout by Coach Freeman. Coach Freeman filling in for Coach Kaiser tonight, who is home and not feeling well. And we again say feel better, Coach. Hope to see you next week here very soon for the end of the regular season at Shikellamy Stadium.
If Schwarber did hit a home run,
yes,
that was a fine greeting for one of San Diego Padres' aces.
Well, that would have been a leadoff home run,
Yes, it
too.
would have been.
Yeah.
I heard somebody call them the Friars the other day, the San Diego Friars.
The Friars.
You
well,
know, so
yeah, it works. I mean, it kind of works. 50.3 remaining here in this first half in the longest second quarter in high school football history. We've been playing this quarter for 45 minutes.
Well, there's a lot going on, Kevin. A lot of throwing with the football.
There was.
Mount Carmel's throwing the ball through the ball a lot.
So Blessing is again the quarterback now. I'm sorry, I'm going to correct that. Yeah, it is Blessing. And the give to the right side, and it will be Blessing all by himself off the right side for the touchdown. Blessing with a 6-yard touchdown run with 44.7 to go.
We got one of the Braves down, Kevin. It looks like a cramp. Does that surprise you?
It does on a night like tonight. I'll say that much. 44.7 remaining, and Mount Carmel now extending the lead to 27-14 here on WKOK and on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel. A couple other scores while we have this opportunity, and actually, let's see. That's Derek Turber-Ortiz getting up slow.
He's up. Going to get off the field.
Southern Columbia leading Wyoming area 41-14. Penns Valley 35. Midwest nothing. Milton 35. Cal Valley nothing. And that extra point is good.
Kevin, I'm surprised at the Canton Jersey Shore game. Canton's the number 1 team in the state. All right, in their division, I think, or they're close to number 1. Jersey Shore's, I think, number 4. I don't know exactly, but
At right now, at last check, was 14-0 Jersey Shore in the second quarter. Coming up in the half, we'll give you a scoring recap. If you're watching on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel, you'll get an opportunity to catch the Shikellamy Marching Braves, part of their halftime performance. And Mifflinburg now leading Warrior Run by a score of 22-7. Shamokin 33, Nanakoke 7. Line Mountain at the half now leading Juniata 10-0.
That's a big game for the Eagles. If they win
Yes,
that
sir.
game, that sets up a big match with Upper Dolphin next Friday
UDA.
for the league championship. Is it the mid Penn League they're in now down there? I think that's what it is.
I thought it was Tri-Valley, Twin Valley.
No, that
Or
dissolved.
at least that's
baby.
right. They
yeah.
took away. Yeah.
I think-
Coming up tomorrow, Columbia Montour Votech will host the George School. That'll be tomorrow afternoon in
Where are they from? Do you know?
I don't know.
You knew I was
don't
going to
know.
ask you that.
I
didn't
knew you were setting me up for that one. Kevin, where's that school at? I don't know.
I've never heard of the George
If I had to
School.
guess, I would say Mount Vernon, but I don't know. There's the kick to about the 9-yard line. Martin will take it at the 9 to the 10 to the 20 to the 25 to the 30, and then run into the pile at the 32, make it the 31-yard line, and that's where the Braves will take over with one timeout remaining and 37.3 left on the halftime clock, trailing at 28-14.
Well, the Braves had their chances twice now with fourth down and yardage for the Red Tornadoes to pick up the first down, and the Red Tornadoes did, in fact, do that.
Well, there's a lot of scoring in this game. A lot of people thought it would be only by the team wearing red tonight. So the Braves will come out in from the sideline huddle, and they'll reset the play clock.
I'm glad you knew all those referees' signals.
Braves may actually sit on this one and go into the halftime locker room. Yeah.
Do you know who the head linesman is, the head of the department? It's Joe Cesari.
Is it?
Yeah, right back.
I
That's
did not-
Joe. Yeah,
I did not see
This
that.
is his crew.
So did Mount Carmel take a timeout?
Yeah, if they're gonna force Shikellamy to punt and try to get a touchdown.
They're gonna force them to play a snap. Wow.
So now you run the ball. You know.
That's an interesting choice by Coach Dara. I'll word it that way.
Well, if we kneel at the ball every time, there's only one or 2 seconds go off. So that's three.
Yeah.
That's 6 seconds at
but,
the most. So
but
you
the other
punt 'em.
side of that is you're going to get the ball. You just scored. You're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Maybe he wants to try to pound another one in here.
I don't think there's any doubt that that's what he's got in mind. So they'll use Mount Carmel uses a timeout. They have 2 timeouts remaining. 35 seconds remaining here in the half, with Mount Carmel leading it 28-14. The Braves did have a 1-point lead at the midway part of the second quarter in this game. So let's see if the Braves do decide to kneel on it. Nope, now they're going to go into a 4-receiver set, pistol formation. Let's see if the Braves can get a benefit. Nope, ball's on the ground. Wetzel's in trouble. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to spin to the 30 and get drugged down almost by the helmet for a loss of about 4.
And Schultz in on the tackle.
That was definitely, I think, a shot downfield. I think that if that ball was snapped high enough, that ball was going downfield. And Mount Carmel will take a timeout with 26.6 to go. And a 3rd down and about 14 coming up from the Shikellamy 28-yard line. Coming up tomorrow afternoon on 100.9 The Valley, it's Bucknell Bison football. The Bison will be taking on Lehigh. An opportunity for the Bison to get win number 1. Lehigh with 1 win on the season themselves. And a Garcia will be talked about, I'm sure, for Lehigh, as he, the former Southern Columbia Tigers, standout. Running back for Lehigh. That'll be tomorrow starting at 12:30, kickoff at 1. I'm going to correct that. It's 11:30, kickoff at noon. And a flag now for offside, and I believe that is going to be against Mount Carmel.
Yep.
Yeah, tomorrow at 11:30, kickoff is at noon. for Lehigh and Bucknell. 26.6 left here in this first half. Ball now at the 33-yard line with a 3rd down and 9. Wetzel with 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Long count. Still have 12 on the play clock. And now they're going to call a timeout.
You're right. This is the longest quarter.
Were the Braves short a player there?
I don't know. He was trying a hard count.
Well, the reason I asked that is because they only had 3 receivers in the pattern and 1 back. Maybe it was me.
No, there's 11 guys in the huddle.
All right. Maybe I was missing somebody somewhere.
I thought he might have been trying to get him to jump off sides again, and I don't know if they had a play called or what they wanted to do with it. So, because I had the binoculars on Lucas Wetzel, and he was really, emphatically.
Count them up, Chief. What do you get?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11.
Okay, I'm missing somebody every time. I can't count. Shotgun formation for Wetzel. Gets the ball, hands it off to Schaefer Knights. Schaefer Knights, who has a 90-yard touchdown run tonight, will pick up about 4 yards to the 35-yard line. And now Mount Carmel will take their final timeout with 20.2 remaining here in the half.
The other thing, Kevin, is remember they blocked the last punt that Shikellamy had, too.
That's a good point. And there's too much time to run around and run time off the clock.
Oh, no, they're going to have to punt this ball. Well, I just got a text.
About my lack of counting ability?
George School is in Newton, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right.
Newton, Pennsylvania. Where's Newton in Pennsylvania? You know where Newton's at, don't you?
Down toward Philly?
I would think so.
See, you always put me on the spot, and then I question myself. It's bad enough I can't count to 11.
You were missing a receiver on his side. He was standing in. There was.
That's who I was missing.
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody on the sideline.
The referee was standing in front of him. You couldn't see him.
Okay. All right.
You know how stripes hide everything. That's why the Tiger has it.
I knew that. Ready to boot the ball away now is going to be Kuntz. And it's going to be a direct snap to Wetzel. Wetzel will complete it to Snyder. Snyder is not going to get to the first down marker. It was a great idea on the fake, but Mount Carmel did not back off enough. Wetzel gets it down to the 37-yard line, Snyder gets it to the 37-yard line, and it'll be Mount Carmel football with 14.7 to go at the Shikellamy 37 with no timeouts remaining.
Well, this could take a long time to play, especially if you put the ball in the air 3 times.
So the Braves are going to play their secondary back to about the 15-yard line right now. And ball is on the ground. And I don't know, did Shikellamy get that one? It was close.
Yeah, they're pointing out
yes.
where they did.
And it's picked up by Mason Raybuck. Raybuck will get the fumble recovery. Spears never had that ball at all on the snap, and Shikellamy has it at their own 41-yard line.
Wow, we've seen a lot of strange things in this game, Kevin.
Newton is in Bucks County.
Well, that's down around Philly.
That's correct, in that general vicinity. 1st and 10 from the Shikellamy 41-yard line, 28-14. 11 seconds to go. Wetzel almost converted on a 4th down conversion. Will get the ball, nobody in the backfield, and a whistle for
delay a game.
Delay a game. Yes, I did not look at the play clock. Looked like Shikellamy that time was definitely one player short. They had to get somebody on late, and I think that's what caused the 5-yard delay game call. So it looks like now we're going to see how far Wetzel can throw the ball. Now they're going to bring back a protector for him. 3 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Back to pass, Wetzel down the middle of the field. He fires one up, looking for Packer, incomplete. And he took a shot at the end of that. Wetzel was picking himself up off the turf.
You know, the two Mount Carmel defenders ran into each other. Packer might have had a chance to get that ball if it would have been a little bit longer thrown.
Second down and 15 at the 37-yard line. Tough night tonight, Chief. I can't count.
I can't go without coughing.
Oh, we're a great pair.
Yeah.
Pair of what? I don't know. Wetzel now in the shotgun with 6 seconds remaining. He will take the direct snap. Back to pass. Puts one up in the air. There's nobody there. And a late flag now. This one might be because why nobody was there, that Packer was getting held.
And the quarter cannot end on a penalty, if I'm not mistaken.
On a defensive penalty, you are correct.
Should get one more play.
It is going to be pass interference against Mount Carmel. So there will be an untimed play. I've been waiting a long time to say that, by the way.
You can bring that up when you talk to Steve Jones.
An untimed play coming for Shikellamy's offense. They have the ball now after the 15-yard penalty at the Mount Carmel 48-yard line. Shikellamy trailing at 28-14 as we inch, and I mean inch, closer to halftime. 3 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Wetzel gets the snap. He's going to draw play, and going nowhere with that one is Schaefer Knights, kind of because they ran into each other, really. And that's where the first half will end. The Braves have surprised some people here at the Silver Bowl, but trail it 28-14 at the half. This is Shikellamy football on WKOK and on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel.
Now that I'm buying my first home, the folks at Nori Bank have been incredibly helpful. Anytime I have questions, I've got Brenda. She's just a phone call away.
When it comes to my retirement planning, I've got Jared.
I'm ready to open a savings account for my grandson, and I've got Tim.
I've got Robin.
I've got Rose. For all of my banking needs, I've got Nori Bank.
The right people, the right solutions, the right bank. The Northumberland National Bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Sunbury Motor Company.
Austin Martin, Kia Elite Sales Consultant, Maranatha Christian School.
Amber Wren, Certified Hyundai and Lincoln Sales Consultant, Seals Bavaria High School.
Ian Chikuski, Certified Ford Sales Professional, Mount Carmel and Shamokin area.
Christopher Stengline, Ford Certified Sales Consultant, Seals Bavaria High School.
Tom Mertz, 4th generation owner, Sunbury Motor Company, Shikellamy High School.
A tradition of trust since 1915. Your local butcher shop is Northumberland's own Mertz Meats. With their famous homemade smoked bologna, Mertz Meats is a cut above the rest. Find the best in hamburgers and hot dogs, scrapple, hams, smoked cheese, and the perfect cut of steak. Oh, and the bacon. Don't ever forget about the bacon. Simply put, great people with great food. That's Mertz Meats.
You can't beat our meat at Mertz's Meats.
Mertz Meats, Route 147, Susquehanna Trail, Northumberland.
With all the great vehicles out there to drive, Lyle's not always going to be in a Bronco. But when he does want a Bronco, he knows to go to blazealexander.com. With over 20 locations across Pennsylvania and thousands of cars to choose from, blazealexander.com is your one place to shop for both sales and service. So let Lyle help you fetch your next vehicle, only at blazealexander.com.
Welcome back to the Silver Bowl in Mount Carmel. Kevin Herr with the Chief Dave Ritchie. Not quite right back where we started from here this time, but Braves trailing Mount Carmel 28-14. Mount Carmel started the scoring, but it took almost the entire first quarter before Mount Carmel got on the board. Farinato finished off the drive with a 6-yard touchdown run. That made it 7-0 with the extra point, just 54 seconds to go in the first quarter. And we thought, wow, this is going to be a quick half. And then the second quarter came out, and it stayed for almost an hour. Spears with the first touchdown to Schultz, a 10-yard touchdown pass and reception with 11:17 to go. The extra point was missed. It was 13-0 with 11:17 to go. 17 seconds later, it was a halfback pass from Luke Snyder to Packer for 62 yards. The extra point was good, made it 13-7 in favor of Mount Carmel. But the Braves were not done yet. They would take their first lead of the night, and so far their only lead of the night. A 90-yard touchdown run by Isaac Schaefer-Knights, his second of over 70 yards. He had an 80-yarder and now a 90-yard touchdown run. And with 9:50 to go in the first half, it was 14-13 Shikellamy. Mount Carmel then found a way to get back with Marsalic throwing a 26-yard touchdown to Verano. A 2-point conversion was good, put it back to a 7-point Mount Carmel lead, 21-14, 7:15 to go in the second quarter. Then we went almost 7 full minutes without a score, believe it or not, after a busy second quarter. That's when Blessing ran it in from 6 yards out, and the extra point was good with 44.7 remaining in the half. It was 28-14 in favor of Mount Carmel, and that's where we sit right now at the half here at the Silver Bowl. Braves have played quite well here in this first half. They've had some, we said they had to play near perfect football. They almost did. Almost got a recovery on an onside kick about a yard too soon. Had a couple of turnovers fall into their lap with some fumbles, but they also have a couple of have an interception along the way too. Mount Carmel has taken advantage of the Braves' mistakes a little bit more than the Braves had of Mount Carmel tonight.
You know, I think this is one of the better halves that the Braves have played.
I would agree with that.
They made some mistakes, but they had 2 big plays for touchdowns. But hey, they had 2 big plays for touchdowns. And
That's
that means
exactly
something.
right. And had the lead against an 8-0 Mount Carmel team that was supposed to blow them out of the stadium.
Exactly. I'm sure Coach Darrow's not 100% happy with his troops right now.
I think you're right about that.
You know, that's another reason why I think he called the timeouts there towards the end to get the ball back, and then it kind of backfired on him because they fumbled, and Shikellamy got a fumble recovery, by Mason. Raybuck, thank you, sir.
Yeah, well, you know, Mount Carmel came into this game +8 on the turnover ratio. Right now, they are down to +6 on the turnover ratio. They have lost, they are -2 in this game alone. When we return, we'll have the Chiefs look at halftime stats, scores from around the region. And if you're watching on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel, you can enjoy the Shikellamy Marching Braves halftime performance. This is Shikellamy Football on WKOK and the YouTube channel.
I know. You guys made that in the first one. Why are they doing 60 miles here? Has everyone break the record 100 by the end of the game? First quarter.
Shikellamy marching Braves here at halftime on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel, giving you a rundown of the scores that we have from across the region tonight. Selinsgrove leading Montoursville at the half, 14-0. Lewisburg 21, Bloomsburg 3 at the half. Danville 65, Belfont nothing in the second. It is Southern Columbia 41, Wyoming area 14 in the second. Also halftime scores: Penns Valley 14, Midwest nothing. Milton 42, Cowanesque Valley nothing. Phillipsburg Osceola 50, Montgomery nothing. Line Mountain 10, Juniata nothing. In the second quarter, it is Muncie 41, Northwest nothing. Mifflinburg 22, Warrior Run 7, Shamokin 33, Nanticoke 7. Halftime scores: Hughesville and South Williamsport tied at 7. Central Columbia leading Athens 7-3. And Jersey Shore leading Canton at the half by a score of 14-0. When we return, the Chief will have a look at the numbers from across the region, from across this game. This is Shikellamy Braves football on WKOK and the WKOK Sports YouTube channel. I got 5 minutes on the clock and 3 breaks to get in.
Your local butcher shop is Northumberland's own Mertz Meats. With their famous homemade smoked bologna, Mertz Meats is a cut above the rest. Find the best in hamburgers and hot dogs, scrapple, hams, smoked cheese, and the perfect cut of steak. Oh, and the bacon. Don't ever forget about the bacon. Simply put, great people with great food. That's Mertz Meats.
You can't beat our meat at Mertz's Meats.
Mertz Meats, Route 147, Susquehanna Trail, Northumberland.
Platinum Central PA is opening its 6th location in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Come see us in Carlisle, Mechanicsburg, Harrisburg, Lancaster, Selinsgrove, and now Hershey, PA. Take a test drive and be automatically registered to win a brand new 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage, or visit creditpa.com today and apply for credit. Come on, Central Pennsylvania, you already know. Platinum, baby, we get you.
Now that I'm buying my first home, the folks at Nori Bank have been incredibly helpful. Anytime I have questions, I've got Brenda. She's just a phone call away.
When it comes to my retirement planning, I've got Jared.
I'm ready to open a savings account for my grandson, and I've got Tim.
I've got Robin.
I've got Rose. For all of my banking needs, I've got Nori Bank.
The right people, the right solutions, the right bank. The Northumberland National Bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
With all the great vehicles out there to drive, Lyle's not always going to be in a Bronco. But when he does want a Bronco, he knows to go to blazealexander.com. With over 20 locations across Pennsylvania and thousands of cars to choose from, blazealexander.com is your one place to shop for both sales and service. So let Lyle help you fetch your next vehicle, only at blazealexander.com.
Here on News Radio 1070 WKOK, and welcome back to those of you watching the WKOK Sports YouTube channel. He has been patient. He has waited for his opportunity, and now, folks, the Chief has the numbers from this first half, where Mount Carmel leads Shikellamy 28-14.
Can't even give a short introduction, can you?
Oh, just read before you cough again.
Rushing, Diaz has 4 rushes for 31 yards. These are Mount Carmel rushers. Verano's 4 rushes for 17. Blessing, 8 rushes for 23. Farinato, 6 for 26 yards. So they really spread the wealth out as far as running backs go. As far as passing, Gavin Marvelek is 1 for 6 with 26 yards, and Spears is 2 for 5 for 20 yards. Farinato has no reception. Sorry about that. Schultz has 2 for 20 yards. Verano has 2 for 36 yards. So it's not that Mount Carmel's had a lot of yardage. It's just that they've been able to do it on short fields.
Well, Shikelamy's got a lot of yardage here in this one, and a lot of it is on one big running play of 90 yards for Isaac Schaefer-Knights.
Yeah, Isaac has 6 rushes for 102 yards, and Snyder comes in second with 2 rushes for 4 yards. Wetzel, unfortunately, at quarterback, you always have negative yardage when you're a quarterback because of the sacks that occur. Wetzel is 5 for 10 for 43 yards, and Snyder is 1 for 1 for 62 yards.
That's a nice little stat. And that makes him, for the season, that makes Luke Snyder, let's see, 3 for 4 for 79 yards passing on the season.
And Snyder also has 3 receptions for 22 yards, and Packer has 2 for 72 yards. So, you know, the Braves, as far as yardage goes, pretty even up with Mount Carmel, but you know, it's been the turnovers and the short distances that Mount Carmel's had to go, and
another fourth down conversion
twice today.
Right,
twice tonight,
one that actually made it ended up being a touchdown.
Yep. I also have to give a shout out to Bill Lawton, who gave me the Newton School information. Now, Bill's you know, retired teacher from Shikellamy,
the George School in Newton, Pennsylvania.
In Newton, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So thank you again, Bill. Appreciate it. Always can use help here when we don't have our sports information director with us.
Well, they're in the bottom. I'm sorry, Newtown, right?
Newtown.
Right.
Thank you.
Middle of the third inning, the Phillies are leading the Padres 1-0 in Philadelphia. That game on Eagle 107, so as soon as we're done here, you can flip over to that. Or maybe you're doing what a lot of people are doing tonight, listening to Eagle 107, watching on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel the game tonight, and you're getting the best of everything. That's what you and I would be doing if we weren't here.
Maybe we are. We just don't have to tell them, do we?
I didn't. You had to give it away. Yeah.
Sorry about that. You know, Kevin and I are pretty well diehard Phillies fans, and you know, it's you know, we've been suffering for what 11 years.
11
now.
years.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
And then
we were very close to being down on Sunday. We were very close to getting down on Sunday.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it didn't work out.
No, there wasn't enough tickets. There was tickets for one, but I couldn't sneak in the Chiefs, so I said, we're not going.
I probably could have went down and scalped one outside the Citizen Park.
Hey, you know what? I would have sat outside Citizens Bank Park and
yeah.
done the game, and like the old pandemic crew from a couple of years ago, watching games. At the half, it is Mount Carmel 28, Shikellamy 14. Mount Carmel will get the ball to start the second half when we return. This is Shikellamy Braves football on News Radio 1070 WKOK and on the WKOK Sports YouTube channel.
The Sunbury Motor Company.
Austin Martin, Kia Elite Sales Consultant, Maranatha Christian School.
Amber Wren, Certified Hyundai and Lincoln Sales Consultant, Seals Bavaria High School.
Ian Chikuski, Certified Ford Sales Professional, Mount Carmel and Shamokin area.
Christopher Stengline, Ford Certified Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove Area High School.
Tom Mertz, fourth generation owner, Sunbury Motor Company, Shikellamy High School.
A tradition of trust since 1915.
Platinum Central PA is open its 6th location in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Come see us in Carlisle, Mechanicsburg, Harrisburg, Lancaster, Selinsgrove, and now Hershey, PA. Take a test drive and be automatically registered to win a brand new 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage, or visit creditpa.com today and apply for credit. Come on, Central Pennsylvania, you already know. Platinum, baby. We get you done.
Well, you're going to have to.
We have no Chase Morgan today. Was